It's noticed for 7, so we're right around there right now. So we need to do this additional public hearing. And the reason we're doing this, right, is because we need to, or I'd like to potentially to make a change to the warrant that we've put out there. So to be able to do that change, we need to have this additional public hearing. So Jackie, I'm going to let you just take it away.
All right. Can you see the screen? I'm trying to use 2 screens. So
yep, we can see it.
Okay, wonderful. So you have always been allowed to have an additional public hearing. The RSA actually says you have to have at least one. And generally we, timeline-wise, when you're working backwards for SB2, there isn't time to do multiple public hearings, but this being a pandemic and we do more than one of everything right now, we get to have an additional public hearing. The Executive Order 83 gave you the authority to postpone your meeting, your voting in your annual, your annual meeting, voting and the deliberative session. So with that, we have more time than we normally do. Have more time, and now we know more than we did in January when I presented this budget, which gave us an opportunity to revise it. We received confirmation about the ESSER 2 grant, and Henniker is going to receive $211,491, or we anticipate that's what we're going to receive. I think that's coming soon. And we've received some guidance about how we can use it. So with that information, all right, I wanted to do another proposed budget to share with you. And so tonight I'll be talking about Articles 3 and Articles 4, because those are the ones that I'm proposing some changes for you to consider. And you'll notice Article 3 is actually $118,816 less than what I presented to you back in January. That represents taking away money for the elementary teacher that we proposed, and for the technology coordinator, making that contract a 260 contract. Those are 2 things that we think can be shifted to the ESSER grant, and it fits a COVID response. So with the elementary school teacher, the purpose of the elementary school teacher was to, at least in the short term, eliminate the multi-grade classroom, the multi-age classroom, so that we could mitigate the impacts of this year, and really focus in on 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 1st grade, and to ensure kids have what they need. And so that falls into a COVID need. And then the technology, the additional technology days, that could easily be justified as a COVID cost. What we did not move from the budget is the 7th grade teacher. That's an enrollment need. That 7th grade class, as we've talked about before, is the bubble class that we can no longer manage in 7th and 8th grade without totally restructuring what it means to be a 7th and 8th grader at Henniker Community School with the class size. So the 6th grade moving up to 7th grade, and then 8th grade, that additional teacher, that's not COVID related. That's a need we have within the Henniker budget. So, moving through this, what I'm presenting, we are currently operating under a budget of $8,381,031. We're proposing an $8,812,979 budget. This is a 5.15% increase. Previously, that was I think it was 6.27% increase. Our default what we're proposing remains the same. And that is a 4.5% increase from our current budget. To note, so those are big numbers, but $207,823 of that is an accounting change for all intents and purposes. So almost 2.5% of that increase it's offset by revenue, so it doesn't have a local tax impact. And then additionally, there's a $31,000 increase in the budget that's for food service. That's also offset by revenue and doesn't have a local tax impact. So if you look at the total proposed budget increase of $431,948, and then the two increases that are offset by revenue, you get a 2.3% increase with a tax impact. A big portion of that increase is the result of a change in the retirement rate for the employer contribution. This is a mandatory thing that, and they've increased the cost to the employer. And that is to the tune of $112,578. And there's also our GMR, which is our guaranteed maximum rate for our healthcare insurance. It's 7.3%. So that means that's the most our insurance premiums can increase. So we have to budget for that. And that's $60,780. So you have all of those costs, and then adding within our proposed budget, adding in the $82,128.29 for the proposed 7th grade teacher. Our default budget, this again remains the same, except for it is now $76,155 lower than our proposed. So you've got the default budget. You have our current budget. The difference is $355,792. The proposed budget and the default budget is again that $76,155 difference. Breaking this down into object lines, you'll see the salary is where most of the impact, salary and benefits. Those were the lines that increased. In the default and in the proposed, there are census changes. There's the CBA agreement for our support staff, wage pool increases for those who are not part of the collective bargaining agreement. Also in both our proposed and our default, our retirement, that contribution increase to rates, and the guaranteed maximum rate of our health insurance. What's different between the default and the proposed is that 7th grade teacher and the related benefits. So going back to the object summary, you've got salary benefits, and then within the rest of the lines, another $22,000 of additions of increases. That has not changed since I presented at the public hearing. As we generally show, most of our costs are within salaries and benefits, with the other slivers of the pie making up much smaller pieces of the pie. So that's the proposed budget. A $16,000, almost $17,000 decrease to the salary line is in the proposed budget, actually got shifted from the proposed budget and is within Article 4. What we learned actually through our work in WARE is that how we were accounting for retirements. So we have somebody retiring, And we had taken that salary savings from the collective bargaining agreement cost. That is not a best practice. We learned that, and we're taking the opportunity to shift that cost, and it's an additional $16,000 to the collective bargaining agreement article. And this represents the full cost of this 1-year agreement that our teachers.
Okay.
Sure.
Grayson then.
Sure.
Thanks. And we took it out of the salary lines within the proposed budget. To recap, as far as our teacher contract, it's a 1-year contract. Our teachers came to us understanding, because they're part of our community and they understand the situation we're all in, and all they asked was to move along the salary grid, to move up a step. And that salary grid itself did not get richer. The raises are going to be between $500 and $1,400, and it allows people to continue that that movement, but is a fairly small increase. So those are the changes within the proposed budget. Are there questions?
Anybody?
No, I mean, thank you for putting all this, like, again, additional work into making it work. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So at this point, this is a time where we could take public comment. And so depending on which version of Zoom you're using, in my version of Zoom, I can see a raise hand button under the participant tab. My understanding is that other versions, it's under reaction. There's only a couple of folks who may want to make a comment on here, I would assume. So if anybody wants to comment, raise your hand, so to speak, in the with the blue hand button, and I will call on you, or you could just unmute yourself and I'll call on you, and you can make a comment. I'll give everybody a couple of seconds here to figure that out. Okay. There's another public comment period later in our meeting, so this isn't the last time that you can talk if you'd like. All right, so I think at this point I will close the public hearing, and we